What's up, folks? Great to have you guys here again on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some strings that I recently reviewed, maybe even in my stories here on YouTube. I don't think it was an official video, but I was talking about changing strings. Today we're talking about and kind of giving you a review of what I think of the Black Diamond VT series coated strings, acoustic strings. Now the particular brand that I have, the particular model that I have, it's in this brownish packaging, and that's because it's 92.8 phosphor bronze acoustic, and the model number is N600MCT, and these are medium gauge 1356, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. Maybe not, depending on the lighting, but you can definitely look it up and online and find it out. And I've also left a link if you're interested in these. There should be links in the description below, so be sure to check those out as well. So what do I think about the Black Diamond strings? Well, me personally, I didn't really care for them, and here's why. I'm going to go over the different reasons why, okay? So from the first to second day, I noticed the top E strings, and I've noticed this on a lot of string packages, string brands, is that the E string, the low E string, tends to have a dull, muffled sound. And with these particular strings, they did. I don't want to say it was because of the coating. What I think it may have been, I was actually driving to get my guitar kind of set up and restringed here just the other day, and it just dawned on me that it may be that the strings alloys produce that certain tone. Me personally, I don't really care about having a dull tone in my sound. I want the strings to be crisp, I want them to be bright, and the rest of the strings sounded okay. It was just that low E that was really nagging at me and nagging at my ears, telling me, okay, this is not the string that I'm wanting to stick with, okay? So that's number one. Is the tone on the low E string was just a little too muffled for me. Even after the first day and after the next week or so, I noticed it was still there. So I just had to chalk it up to realize that, okay, this is the way the string is going to sound, okay? So the second thing I noticed is it had quite a bit of squeak to the strings. When you're recording, the squeak is a nightmare, okay? So you're sliding along the strings, shifting positions and things like that, and you inevitably hear that big high-pitched scratch, and you have to go in there and make all these little edits and things like that in the mix to make sure that you don't hear that. Well, that's what I had to do with a couple of these when I was recording some tracks with these strings, and I noticed there were some squeaks in there, and I noticed there was some dullness in there. It just didn't have the vibrance that I'd hoped for. Not knocking on the strings, is just not the tone that I expected and that I wanted to continue using. One of those reasons is I think it may be down to the coating itself. If you go to the website, and I'll kind of put this on the screen, it says, after the manufacturing of our natural uncoated string, the Black Diamond strings are put into a high pressure booth which sprays a micro mist. So the coating is a micro mist, okay, that's sprayed onto the strings after it's been wrapped, okay? And it says our proprietary, say that 5 times fast, our proprietary environmentally safe coating adheres to the outer wound strings and then seeps into the crevices. I like the idea of that, but my experience is not that. I did not get that from these strings because they were squeaky. If there's any kind of coating on a string, you should be able, if it's on the outside of the winding, you should be able to not hear a lot of squeaking, and this is what I heard. So I don't know if it was just a one-pack fluke, but I wasn't willing to test it on multiple packs, and I had bought a lot of packs, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. So it adheres to the outer strings and then it seeps into the crevices. It says it not only adds to the life of the strings, but makes for a smoother feel. Although a micro-coating, these strings sound natural, and so they did sound natural to me except for the top string. Now, I'm not going to blame that on the coating. I don't know if they use an even amount of coating on each string or if they use more coating on the thicker strings. I don't know if they would do that or not, but for me, like I said, for my ears, it wasn't pleasant. So what I decided to do is I took this after contacting several places, several music stores, and thinking about putting some of the strings on Facebook and Marketplace and all these ad sites. I decided to contact another local music store, which I take my guitars to, and go ahead and see if they were willing to maybe trade in these strings for something that I know I would like better. This was when I was actually taking my guitar to get set up for the season. I try to do that once a year, maybe twice, depending on how rough the weather is. And it plays like butter now with the new strings that I prefer. Once again, if you're interested in these, if you do want to try them out, you can find these in a link in the description below. But the strings that I chose are strings that I've used for years. You here on this channel know what they are. those are elixirs. Okay, so I ended up trading the same values worth of elixir strings, packs of elixir strings, that I paid for the box of strings. I ended up with, I think, 20 sets. I used a set and I gave a set to my brother of the black diamond strings, and so I traded in the remaining 18 packs. And I had actually got a pretty good deal. I found a good deal where I got them for like half off, but ended up going to this music store and they were willing to trade because they pretty much sell everything they get in stock, so they wasn't worried about selling those strings. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packs, because the one that they changed my strings with when they set up the guitar is another pack of these. So I got 7 total packs of elixir strings that will last me a long time. These are what I'm happy with. I tend to use lately, I prefer light mediums, which are 12 to 56, I do believe. But all they had in stock was regular mediums. That's okay, because I've been lately buying the medium packs, and if I need them, I'll buy the B and the E string in the light gauge. I'll just buy those separate, and then I'll combine these strings as I need them. But since we haven't been playing a whole lot of places here lately because of illness and things like that, mediums are just fine for my fingers. I'm not overly playing or anything like that. So now I have wonderfully awesome strings that I've used for years and I always use on my main acoustic guitar. Now, once again, if you want to try them out, feel free to do so. More than likely you might like them. It depends on what your tone your ears prefer. Now, some people will say, well, that's because you got phosphor bronze instead of an 80-20 bronze. 80-20 bronze would have sounded brighter. I tend to disagree with that because in my experience, phosphor bronze sounds bright to me. They sound perfect for bluegrass, for flat picking, what I use them for. Also, phosphor bronze tends to last a little bit longer because of the percentage of copper that's available in the string. 80-20 bronze tends to tarnish and weaken in tone much quicker, and so I've always opted for phosphor bronze for the last 20 years or so, and that's what I'm sticking with. All right, so if you like this video, please give that a thumbs up, and also if you'd like to see another string brand that I've recently reviewed on my Martin guitar, my DCX-1E, and I was very surprised with those, then make sure to check the video that's coming up here in just a little bit, because that's the place you want to go to find out about that string. And one more thing, if you'd like to see my review of some other black diamond strings, now granted this is a pretty old review, but these actually sounded and played better than the ones I've just talked about just now. Check out the video at the end here as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. God bless, and remember, keep creating.